What's going on, everybody? So today I want to bring up a video topic, a topic about a player that a lot of people really aren't talking about, that I think deserves more recognition. I'm talking about our first-round draft pick from this past season, Artie Burns. First of all, background information. Artie Burns is about 6 foot, about 205 pounds. But here's the thing that I want you guys to realize about Artie Burns. The reason why people were a little upset with the pick, I guess, this past season, and me included, I can vouch for that same issue. I always was a little upset with the pick. But here's the reasoning behind that. I think I was so caught up with another cornerback from Houston who ended up being drafted the pick before ours to the Cincinnati Bengals, in which he didn't play at all this season. So I don't know if this is true or not. I think Artie Burns is the better cornerback than William Jackson III. And I think he is due to have an absolute freak out next year in 2017. If you look, and I know the comparison between player and player, body style, height, weight, is a little different. I do realize that. But if you're talking statistics alone, as a rookie, Artie Burns accumulated 65 tackles for 3 interceptions. Richard Sherman recorded 58 tackles, so 7 less tackles than Artie Burns, but he had 1 more interception. Now, this is Richard Sherman we are talking about. Richard Sherman, who is arguably one of the best cornerbacks in today's game. And I think the reason why he is so good is because he doesn't rely on his athleticism. He relies on his football smarts, and he relies on film study. If you look at Artie Burns in college, there's a reason why he had 6 interceptions his last year before coming into the league. He was a student of the film, and he let the film dictate his game on the field. To think that he only had 1 less interception than Richard Sherman, arguably one of the best cornerbacks in the National Football League right now, is mind-blowing, and that's why I think that Artie Burns is going to have a stud next season. I predict next season that he has 6 interceptions to about 52 tackles. Now, let's look at some other big-name cornerbacks like Patrick Peterson. Let me look up his stats. Patrick Peterson. So, he's the similar height to Artie Burns. Artie Burns still has a total of 14 more tackles than Patrick Peterson and has the same amount of interceptions. So, Patrick Peterson. Let's name a couple of others. Let's see. Marcus Peters. Marcus Peters' stats. So if we go to Marcus Peters had 6 interceptions this season. 6 interceptions this season and 45 tackles. So Marcus Peters is more of a ball-hawking safety, or not safety, cornerback, and he is right around the same height and weight as Artie Burns. So when you're looking at cornerbacks, you're scouting cornerbacks that are going to be able to play on the outside. You're looking for guys who are about 5'11 and a half, 5'11 and 3/4 to about 6'3", maybe 6'4", depending on how their skills are. But you want it in that range, and you want them to be anywhere from about 190 to about 210. And that's as you go up in height, you have to go up in weight a little bit. But the other reason why I love Artie Burns as a corner is because he is a physical corner. He is a cocky corner, and above all else, when you're talking about cornerbacks, there are some cornerbacks that could just skate by with maybe just being great ball hawks, and they completely lock down. They keep them on an island. But the really, really good cornerbacks are the cornerbacks that are able to come down and help on the run game, who are able to come down and blitz off the edge if need be. This upcoming year, barring injuries, which I realize for one player is kind of tough, I think this upcoming season, my Pittsburgh Steelers could have one of the best secondaries in the National Football League. But there's a couple of things that need to happen for that to occur. First things first, we need to get rid of Ross Cockrell, or if we're going to sign him, he has to be to a cheap deal. Second thing we need to do is we need to get rid of William Gay and bring in a guy like Prince Amukamara or Tremaine Johnson if he hasn't signed his contract already. I'm not 100% sure on that, so don't quote me on that. Or bring in a guy like Stephon Gilmore. Bring in another guy opposite of Artie Burns that's going to be able to mentor him like the lockdown corners that they are. And with Lawrence Timmons most likely not coming back, unfortunately, that frees up about $10 million in cap space. So you look at about $30 million in cap space to about $40 million this season, for this offseason. So that will be able to sign Brown to the big deal, franchise tag Bell, and be able to bring in a guy like a Tremaine Johnson, like a Stephon Gilmore, like a Prince Amukamara to play opposite of Artie Burns. And then you have another guy coming back, which nobody is talking about, and rightfully so considering his injury history. But there's a lot of people who aren't talking about Senquez Golson. Keep in mind, and I will look this up so I don't get crap for it. I want to see, I believe Senquez Golson, cornerback from Ole Miss that we got in 2015, but has been injured with a Liz Frank injury this past season, with a shoulder injury the season before. If I'm not mistaken, he had, I think, 10 interceptions or close to 10 interceptions his last season. Is this the same person? Okay. So it's a total of 6, which I don't know if this website is correct, but regardless, Senquez Golson is a physical, despite his size, a physical, fast, ball-hawking slot corner that's going to be able to come in and produce for us. So now you look at our defense, and say, for example, we do bring in a guy, and let's just say it's Prince Amukamara because of the rumors about him coming to Pittsburgh, which I don't know if that's 100% true or not. Cornerbacks, you'll have Artie Burns, who is going to come out with a breakout season next year. Prince Amukamara on the other side. Senquez Golson in the slot. And then in the back end, you have Sean Davis, who's coming on, who's going to have a massive season next year, considering he was the Rookie of the Year for the Pittsburgh Steelers last year. Won the Joe Green Award. And he's going to come back into this season bigger, better, faster than ever. You have Mike Mitchell, who I'm not a huge fan of, but hopefully if you got a guy like Lorenzo Jerome in the draft, you'll be able to keep him here for a season and really learn under those two safeties. And then when Mike Mitchell's contract is up, Lorenzo Jerome can step right in, or Jabril Peppers could step right in if we pick him up in the first round, which there's a lot of rumors about that. And then on your linebackers. So Bud Dupree is going to come on strong and have a great season next year. He had 4.5 sacks, and he only played in about 5 or 6 games in the regular season. Then you have on the other side, if you looked at my last mock draft, I had JoJo Mathis from Washington, who a lot of people are sleeping on because of the injuries that he had sustained the year before with his feet, but came back this season and really tore it up. Then you have Shazier in the middle and Vince Williams, who I think, Vince Williams / Medikevich, we don't really know who's going to be the starting inside linebacker opposite of Shazier if Timmons doesn't come back. But I think Williams can come in and really contribute a positive impact on our defense. And then you have Cam Hayward coming back from injury. He's going to be a freak. You have Javon Hargrave coming back from a great rookie season, and he's even going to get better next season. You have Stephon Tuitt, who we're going to sign. He's going to be back on the defense. Right there, your defense has been impressively fixed in a matter of one offseason. There's just a few things that need to go right. There's a few things that need to happen. So I just wanted to give my 2 cents on Artie Burns and our defense outlook this upcoming offseason. I'm looking forward to the combine that's going to be here in about 7 days. And then I will most likely be doing a reaction video to the Pittsburgh Steelers draft when the draft rolls around. Don't know if I'm going to be going there. That's a huge surprise. I don't know if I will. I haven't got the tickets yet, so that's something I need to figure out. But let me know what you guys think about my opinion down in the description box below. Like, comment, subscribe, and may the steel be with you.